Are you looking to live in the country or in a more rural area in the upstate of South Carolina? Are you one of those people who does not want to live in a house where you can reach out the window and shake your neighbor's hand? This video is going to be for you because we're going to be talking about all the places in the upstate that you can still find country living. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kirsch. I'm a third-generation realtor here in the upstate of South Carolina, specializing in residential and commercial real estate. If you're thinking of moving to the upstate of South Carolina and you don't know where to start or you don't know what area is best for you, take the quiz in my comments below. That can help you find out what area you should start focusing on before you call me and we start working on your search. Now today, we're going to be talking about the different places in the upstate of South Carolina that can still be considered country living. Many places around the country, large tracts of land have completely priced out normal people from being able to afford to live the country lifestyle, or at least being able to live on a house with an acre or two to be able to enjoy your own space. Here in the upstate, we have several towns that are still quite affordable and quite open to new development and quite open for you to have the opportunity to buy a home that has maybe an acre or two. Those areas that jump out to me immediately would be like Pickens, Belton, Campobello, Chesney, Lawrence, Inman. These are all smaller towns around the Greenville and Spartanburg areas. So when you're seeing those addresses, when you're searching on Zillow, those might be, a little bit less expensive because they're further from the city center, which can afford you to be able to buy a house that maybe has some acreage. If you're looking maybe to do a hobby farm or just have a backyard where you can do whatever you want and not deal with an HOA, this video is going to tell you the areas that you can live in that offer that, and also tell you what other benefits those areas might offer. The upstate of South Carolina offers a variety of homes with 10 acres or more, priced between $300,000 and $900,000. It'd be very rare, I think, in most parts of the country for you to have 10 acres and still be able to go on a short drive to an awesome downtown. But South Carolina does have that opportunity. This makes it unique for buyers who are interested in spacious properties that offer both room for growth and proximity to big cities like Greenville and Spartanburg. One good example of that for me would be maybe Easley or Pickens, South Carolina. You can find some pretty nice homes on some acreage in Easley, in Pickens, in Powdersville. These are all smaller suburbs of Greenville, and maybe if you live in Easley, you can buy a house with 3 acres, but still be able to drive to downtown Greenville in 15 or 20 minutes. That is just something that I think in the next 10, 15 years is gonna be almost impossible to find. So if you can find it in today's market, you're making a smart move. Another point that people think about when they're wanting to maybe live in the country in a more rural area versus living in the middle of the city is the tax benefits they can take advantage of for living further out. For example, if you want to buy a larger plot of land with a home, many people do that with the intention of maybe having a small hobby farm or doing some type of agriculture, and you can actually get a tax benefit from that. Say you buy a house that's on 15 acres. You can subdivide that property and you can put the house and maybe 2 acres under your 4% South Carolina tax affidavit that we all get for our personal residence. You can take the subdivided property, so maybe 13 acres, and you can classify that under agricultural land, and you can reap tax benefits from doing that. So really, some people move to the more rural areas, not only because we have cheaper properties to buy here, but also it can be affordable because of the tax benefits. There's also a new movement here in the upstate of South Carolina, and probably across the country, which is people shifting more towards buying existing older homes on acreage and rehabbing them versus buying land and building on their own land. Sure, there's definitely opportunity in the upstate of South Carolina to buy land to build a home on, but it's definitely becoming harder and harder. It's harder to find land, it's harder to find appealing or affordable land, and it's harder to build because of the price of construction. So we're seeing a big shift towards people, even wealthy individuals, buying homes on existing acreage that may already be set up for a small farm or for just acreage that you want to enjoy for recreation. We're seeing them buy properties like that and rehab them versus us going to look at land for them to be able to build on. Another advantage to that is being able to buy a house that maybe is in a more appealing area, and you're able to do that because the house already exists there. Most of the land, in and around Greenville and Spartanburg, if it's appealing, either the family's holding on to it or it's already been developed. So finding something that you maybe can upfit to fit your family is a new opportunity that a lot of people are looking for in the more country areas. So what if you're one of those people who wants to live in a rural or country area and cares nothing about being close to modern conveniences? Why does the upstate make sense for you instead of going to the southern part of the state? In South Carolina, we have a lot of really rural areas that you can go buy extremely cheap land and build on, but you might be 30, 45 minutes from a grocery store. I like to think that some people can live that way, but most people, when it comes right down to it, you need to be close to some modern conveniences, even if it's just being close to our hospital systems. So the appeal of being in the suburbs of Greenville or Spartanburg on acreage tends to make more sense for most people in day-to-day life. And sometimes the husband might want to live on acreage in the middle of nowhere, the wife likes to go to Home Goods. So we got to find a little bit of balance there. The good thing about living in any of these suburbs of Greenville or Spartanburg, even if you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, you are never far from modern conveniences and modern travel. For example, if you live even in one of our further out suburbs like Belton, South Carolina, within 45 minutes, you can be in Greenville to be at the hospital system, which is amazing, to be at all of the Costco and Sam's Club, all those things you need. You can even go the opposite way and go to Greenwood for some of the things you may need. There's really nowhere in the actual proper upstate of South Carolina, even all the way in Seneca, in Gaffney, anywhere in the upstate, that you're more than an hour away from modern conveniences. I think that's another thing that appeals to people to live in South Carolina rather than living in the West. I know out West, some of my friends in the business sell homes that you might have to take a helicopter or drive 2 hours to get to the grocery store. That's just not gonna happen here. Really, if you're looking to live in the country here, you're going to be in the country, but you're never going to be off the grid. I think also some of the communities that we happen to have in our more rural areas, in the country areas in the upstate of South Carolina, make it an appealing place to buy a country home. When I think about a really great kind of country town, I think about Campobello, South Carolina, Inman, Landrum. These are all small towns that are suburbs of Greenville and Spartanburg, and they have lots of available land as far as homes with acreage or acreage that you can go build a home on. They still have that opportunity there, but the communities themselves are close-knit and charming. So if you're looking to buy a home that is on acreage, or if you're looking to have a country lifestyle, you can have that without forsaking having a close-knit community to enjoy the weekends with, or having a close-knit community that's offering some of those modern conveniences. Most of this video has been about us talking about normal people, what normal people are looking for when they're talking about country living. But South Carolina definitely has a very luxury market as well for country living. We have communities and we have neighborhoods in the suburbs of Greenville and Spartanburg that are definitely some of the more higher end communities in the entire country, but they still offer country living. Namely, the one that comes to mind first would be the Cliffs communities, which range all the way from the mountains of Western North Carolina, all the way down to the shores of Lake Kiowee. Those communities I will do a separate video on because of course I could talk about them at length, but for the purposes of this video, you should know if you are looking to buy a home that is higher end or in a luxurious neighborhood, but you also want that country feel. Perhaps you want a second home here that makes you feel like you are in nature or you want to be close to hiking trails, the Cliffs communities are perfect for that. There's homes that are existing there. There's opportunities in the Cliffs communities for new construction. So if you are a luxury high-end buyer and you are looking to live more off the grid or looking to live further away from a city center, the Cliffs communities are something that we should discuss. But that's not the only opportunity to live in a more country area and have a luxury property. The house we're sitting in right now is my mom's house. It is on 30 acres in Inman, South Carolina. It's certainly, not something that's going to come along every day, but there are properties around here that do come up for sale that are on acreage. They're going to be more in the $1 million price range, but this house is in a modern convenience area. I can get to a grocery store in 5 minutes. I can be in downtown Spartanburg in 15 minutes. There is opportunity in South Carolina to buy a home with all the luxuries that you are looking for, but also to remain in a more country area if that's what you're interested in. When you're thinking about buying a home that is considered country living or in a more rural area, that's not always going to be a farm or something that is on acreage. We also have a lot of people who choose to live further away from the city center here in the Upstate, not to, farm or to have a large property, but to be closer to the outdoor activities that we offer here. Lake Bowen is a lake that is very close to a lot of modern conveniences, but Lake Kiowee, and especially the upper parts of Lake Kiowee, are definitely going to be in more rural and country areas. There are neighborhoods and homes on Lake Kiowee that might be 15, 20 minutes away from a grocery store. So you might choose to live the more, maybe a little bit off the grid, the more rural lifestyle on a smaller lot, but you get the benefit of having the lake. The Cliffs communities in the mountains would also be another example of that. There are some homes in the mountain ranges that are not giant properties that you have to maintain, but they are far away from city centers, so you get to have the natural beauty of that part of the country, and you also get to enjoy maybe not being so close to neighbors. If you are interested in country living, let me give you, I think, the most sought after suburb of Spartanburg that everybody's trying to find a place to build in, and that's Campobello, South Carolina. Campobello still has the opportunity to be able to buy acreage. It has homes on acreage, homes that are more spread out. Campobello offers the opportunity that is many people's dream, which is to buy some land and build a nice palatial home that you can pass down through your family. So Campobello is definitely somewhere to look towards. Another example that might be, a hidden gem kind of, would be a place like Chesney and Gaffney, South Carolina. There are homes right now for sale in Gaffney and Chesney that are on almost an acre. An acre is a big piece of property, and you can buy those homes for under $300,000. I showed a home last week listed at $290,000 that is on a full acre. It is in Gaffney, South Carolina. It is in a more rural area, so you're not, close to all the modern conveniences, but there are grocery stores, of course, in Chesney and Gaffney. Two things that jump out to me out there that are things that you can really enjoy with your family are the Cowpens Battlefield, which I know sounds kind of boring, but really it's kind of like a nature preserve. There are paths that you can run and walk and bike on. Also, one of my favorite places in the upstate of South Carolina is Strawberry Hill, USA. That's a big family farm where you can go apple picking, or you can go pick strawberries in the summer. You can go there to their pumpkin patch or their corn maze, or get homemade ice cream. It's a really awesome destination that people from all over South Carolina come to visit. And imagine living in Chesney in a house under $300,000. You have a full acre. You can go biking wherever you want to on the back roads or in the state park, or you can go to charming downtowns like downtown Gaffney or downtown Chesney, and you can enjoy Strawberry Hill, USA. All of that with still being within a 15-20 minute drive to Spartanburg. So there are a lot of opportunities, no matter what price range you're in, to live comfortably in the more rural or country areas of South Carolina. Whether you're looking for a hobby farm, your dream mountain home, a remote lake property, a custom built home on acreage, or even just a small house with a few acres. The upstate of South Carolina offers something for everyone with every different taste and lifestyle. The diverse range of properties ensures that anyone seeking the perfect blend of space, privacy, and natural beauty can find a place here to call home. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to know more about the specific communities that I've mentioned, like Inman, South Carolina, we're gonna have more videos coming out on that. If you don't know what part of the upstate is best for you, the first thing you should do is go below and take the quiz in my comments. After you take it, it'll tell you what area to kind of start focusing on for your search. And of course, the best person to tell you what area you should look at is me. So give me a call today if you're looking to move to the upstate of South Carolina. Thanks so much.